Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. You made it. You made it. You made it. You made it. Hello, Linda, Jeremiah, April. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Can you believe that less than 2 days after the signing of the MOU, it's already on shaky ground? I wish I were surprised. I would cry if it also wasn't so funny and absurd and knew it was going to happen. Not at all surprised. Yeah, but it's also just really I'm like teetering on not surprised, angry as hell, and a bunch of other feelings because of how dumb the reality is that we're of this timeline right now. You know, we've also got all the paint peeling up from the reflecting pool that we just spent $14 million to do. Like, what? Like, look at this. That is our reflecting pool, guys. Aaron. And right before the start of this whatever state fair thing that they're fair of states or whatever the hell they're doing in DC, which by the way, I'll probably try and walk around it real quick when I'm there. Not looking forward to it, but I'll walk around it. Well, they also treated it like a normal pool, and it's not a normal pool. Don't fall in? Okay. Okay. I won't fall in. I know, I was... And what's funny is they say USA Today has reached out to the National Park Service for comment on the apparent tear. And it's like... Who knows why? Incompetence is why. It's as easy as that. It probably driving on it with his motorcade probably didn't help things. Who knows what the hell stupidity he did that caused this to happen? I think it was CNN who did a water test on water from the reflecting pool and found high amounts of phosphorus. Interesting. Yeah, having making it darker also makes a better breeding ground for more algae. Which again, if you weren't an idiot, I absolutely want to see a detailed invoice. Yeah, well, you know what, Linda? If you get a detailed invoice, let me know. We'll post it. I don't think we'll ever see a detailed invoice though. But yeah, today they have already postponed the peace talks because Israel is bombing, fighting in Lebanon still. That's literally one of the first points. That's like point 1, I think, of the 14-point MOU is that all fighting will stop in places like Lebanon. Didn't even take 2 days. Didn't even take 2 days. Where I still don't see how this could possibly have cost this much. I mean, if only there was some way we could have known. Right, Philip? That Kamala would have been different. What would happen if we just pulled our boats out and went home? Most likely a bigger war in the Middle East. And we would also have to pull all of our people out of all of our bases. Now, again, that's a separate conversation. But it would probably end up meaning more disruption. Hey, Silver. And again, there's argument that we should do that anyways. But that is what I believe would happen. Like if we didn't pull out, not only from pull the boats out and pull the bases out, pull people out from our bases, that would open them up. But if we just left, that would open a door that Again, I'm not sure we want to open, but we may have no choice. I don't know. I don't know. We may have no choice. I say let the Middle East handle its own issues and we can discuss the future with the winner. I'm not sure I agree with that. There's a lot of innocent people that would suffer because of it. Now, again, do I think it needs to be America that deals with it? No, I don't think America has the right. But I think globally, I think we need to, I think we have a responsibility to try and not have tons of innocent civilians lose their life in a war. No, what the US needs to do is ask for help and not pretend like they can do it all by themselves. Which is what should have been done in the first place. And also because it's our fault, Silver. We caused the problem. Do we really have the right to walk away after causing the problem? Or new report out showing that, oh yeah, they've lost a lot of support, like ton of support, for sure. And this is going to make it worse. The real potential is, will there be enough world pushback? Are we responsible for what our government does? Ultimately, yes, Silver, we are. Even if we didn't vote for it, even if we didn't, that is the joy of a society. You are still responsible for what your idiots do, especially when the idiot is the government. That is the crappy part of a society. Saw Vance throwing shade at the BB cabinet yesterday. Yeah. I mean, I understand, Silver. I understand the desire to pull out of that whole area altogether. I agree, in fact. I agree, in fact. But the reality is we are in the situation we are in right now because of our government, and that does fall on us as the citizens. That's just a reality, an unfortunate reality, but a reality. Oh, we absolutely have made it worse. We 100% have made it worse. No doubt. No doubt. And I am not saying that we need to stick with the status quo, like nothing needs to change. I think things need to absolutely change. But I think in this specific situation, we don't have the capability of just walking away. Let's put it this way. I would argue that the 14-point MOU is the best deal we can get. And again, I don't think we currently have the people in place that could help handle this regardless of who helps. I don't know. The world has a lot of power. If the world came out and did something, as long as it wasn't starting a world war. I mean, our government can't get along with anybody. So, and I would argue Italy's government wasn't far right-wing in the way we see far right-wing. Again, there's nuance to everyone's stance on things. Italy has always been very different in how they view things. Just like France is really different and weird on how they view things. Everyone is. Everyone's got their nuance to it. So we are the problem until we get ourselves together. Should we be meddling in others' affairs? No. But we also can't ignore the meddling that we've already done. Especially if just leaving would end up causing things to get worse. You're right. It is a lose-lose situation. You're right. And maybe that's my perspective. Good morning, Angel. I do not. Now again, it's all in how you respond to it. The problem is this administration, again, in how they are trying to deal with it, is pretend like there's not really a problem. So I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I'm not sure there is a right answer. I definitely know that this administration doesn't know the right answer. That I do know. Regardless. Again, I agree. I think it was it you, Aaron, that said it? Yeah, we need to go to the UN and say, we screwed up. We need you guys to help fix this. And then they need to step away. I mean, we know there's market manipulation. I don't think this had anything to do with market manipulation, but who the hell knows? I don't think Israel cares about our markets. silver, which is why I think we're going to end up in a minimum a recession, if not a depression. They can say that things are good all they want, but it's going to happen. As long as things keep going the way they're going, it's going to happen. Now, again, is it guaranteed? No. I'd say it's only guaranteed if things don't actually change. If we keep doing things the exact same way we've been doing it. July 1st with the student loan changes, it's going to get a whole lot worse. Yep. And then once people start realizing, what is it, the Medicaid changes or something like that, or Medicare changes that are coming, that are going to come a couple weeks after the election. Once people start realizing about that happening, it's going to get bad. Yeah. I mean, it's already silver. And unfortunately, the changes that need to happen aren't ones that are going to happen fast. As much as we would like to think otherwise. The modern day version? I don't know. A chainsaw? No. I don't know. I'm not sure there is a modern equivalent to one of those. I've noticed a huge uptick in medical bills going to collection agencies. People aren't able to pay their bills. Yep. Why is the Iran deal on shaky ground? Because the iCountry just started bombing and fighting in Lebanon again. So they've already postponed the peace talks in Switzerland because of it. This is what happens when you go start a war with two countries and try and make peace with only one of those two countries. Or only have one of those countries involved in the peace side of things. Oh, not shocked at all. In fact, knew this was going to happen. I mean, the second you heard Bibi say that this peace deal was unacceptable, you knew this was going to happen. This is why no one ever did something so stupid. What did the world win? Absolutely nothing. Straight up nothing. Enjoy your small D energy, J-Man. Sounds like somebody is all in their feelings, dude. Why am I shaking? Because I have Parkinson's disease. Oh my God. Israel has never entered a ceasefire they didn't break. True. Says the guy who made the statement they made just beforehand. All right, dude. Go enjoy life somewhere else. It's not a crazy shake. But and it's my hand and arm mostly, which you don't see most of the time. So oh, I don't care. It shows the kind of people they are. And the way JD tried to gloss over the US paying them back for what we bombed, it amazes me. Of course. I mean, again, none of it's a surprise. None of it's a surprise. This isn't even a surprise, nor is the, by the way, this picture is the paint from the reflecting pool peeling up. You know, the $14 million paint job that we did that is already peeling up. That is the argument of all MAGAs also in the Netherlands. They think they are the critical thinker. Of course they do. Which, by the way, I will be in DC a week from today, and I will go and see what the reflecting pool looks like. We'll see if anything has changed. Morning, meme. How you doing, buddy? Morning, Lori. Oh, I do, Lori. I do. It's more of a tourist attraction now. Yeah, people are going to see all the paint that's coming up. Thoughts on people here for the World Cup's view on the US? What do you mean? Morning, Jamie. Europeans loving the United States. Again, here's the thing. What if you are traveling and you see the great restaurants, the nature, there are a lot of good things about America. That doesn't mean America as a whole is great right now. They're coming in from the perspective of going into an area that is having a World Cup event. It's set up for people to enjoy it. So what do I think? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's great that they're enjoying their time here. Actually, I have read both of them on my live, in fact. United States is great right now. I guess it depends on your definition of great, but for a lot of people, it's not. Do I think it has the capability of looking great for tourists? You mean my mom who passed away 3 years ago? Hmm. Projected to need 12 million truck drivers in 3 years. Possible. Listen to international about lies they were told about America. They aren't lies. They just don't experience them as tourists. Why would a tourist experience the stuff that Americans that are living here experience? I don't think it's a surprise at all that they're enjoying themselves. Just like when I went to Europe, I enjoyed myself. That doesn't mean every part of Europe, everything is great. I happen to know there are bad parts of Europe and bad things that happen in Europe. I hate that they're enjoying. No, I don't hate that they're enjoying America. Why would I hate that they're enjoying America? That's a dumb thing to say. They're tourists. What? Why would a tourist experience the kind of issues that a citizen who lives here experiences? Why would I leave America? I'm an American citizen. I live here. Y'all see the TSA had to release a statement telling people to make sure to pack their ranch in their check-in luggage. I didn't, Philip. That's hilarious. Yes, Smiley. Yes, it is. Visitors don't experience freedom. They're visitors. How many planes full of cash is 300 billion? Well, they're getting rid of the sanctions too, so it wouldn't require to send cash. Then the 25 to 300 billion that we're going to be giving them in this deal? Yes. Yes, Bilko. Yes, it is. And that was different money. That was money that we actually owed them. How'd that work out? What? Gas is going down. Okay. Good. And so we spent billions of dollars just for gas to go up and then go back down. Actually, we did owe them this money. The $1.7 billion was a arms deal that we made with the Shah before he was overthrown, and the money was sitting in the bank making interest. Yeah, but it's different money. It isn't sanctioned money. It was from a different deal. And because we had sanctions on them, we had to send them it as cash. Because again, that's how sanctions work. Are Americans allergic to books? Some. Yeah. Some. People are now sharing ranch from scratch recipes and explaining how to use the packet ranch mix. There you go. There are 200 million barrels of oil that is coming to market, which is going to crash the price. No, it's not. No, Biden did not give Ukraine billions. How is it not going to? Because at minimum, it's all going to go back to filling up people's country's strategic reserves. It's not actually going to go back on the market. Visitors get to meet grateful workers in the United States instead of non-essential podcasters. Ah, okay, Steven. Not to mention 200 million barrels of oil are not just coming onto the market. I think Steven meant underpaid. I smell jealousy in that comment. It will not crash the market in the US. Because again, it's not US oil. There is no market in the US. It's not US oil. It's global oil. Oil is a global commodity. We'll see what that does. We'll see what that does. There is no such thing as US oil. Companies own oil in the US. The US owns nothing. That's the part you guys don't seem to get. No, US doesn't own Venezuela's oil either. Venezuela owns Venezuela's oil. Still a national. They did not take their oil out of being nationalized. Not to mention, gas also has to do with refining capacity, which isn't changing. Nope, none of it. None of the oil belongs to the US. Literally none of it. They're already starting to. A deal is better than no deal. Is it? If the deal costs us, $300 billion, that's better. We started the war, and now we, the taxpayers, may need to pay hundreds of billions of dollars. They already had no nuclear weapons. Maybe 6,000, but not 6,001. That's a miscalculation. I'm sorry. I apologize. With that logic, then the GCPOA was amazing. True, Philip. The $300 billion reconstruction fund wouldn't be their money. The 25 billion would have been their sanctioned money, sure. Hilarious seeing people look absolutely miserable because politics is their religion. Who looks miserable? A 200 million barrel release is small considering the global consumption is 100 million a day. Yup. Yup. Who decides whether what I'm saying is a fact or a lie? Slayer. I've been disappointed in our elected leaders and appointees for a majority of 40 years. And that's fair. But again, the choices that we're getting for the last long time have been because basically nobody, if it was so good, why did Iran have 800 pounds of enriched uranium? Because the first Trump administration shredded the JCPOA, which allowed them to enrich uranium again. They didn't have highly enriched uranium until Trump shredded the JCPOA. Yeah, it's called bargaining power. If I had everyone against me and doing everything that the world does against Iran, and I was the Iranian government, and I had a deal that prevented me from getting enriched uranium shredded, I would enrich uranium even if I wasn't going to make anything about it. Even if I wasn't going to make a weapon. They'd be stupid not to. That's why it was stupid that he shredded it to begin with. No, some people get off their ass to try and change things. Not enough. Not enough. I will give you that. Ah, see, you're just saying that, Breeze. You actually know nothing. Hey, Patty. Why did they start enriching, though, the first time? Can't be just because they could. Why can't it be? Why can't it be? Russia designed their nuclear power around supplying fissile material for Cold War munitions. Oh, interesting. Just running them produces enriched uranium. Which deal are you talking about? Obama's deal? They did not still make nuclear weapons. And there was nothing in the deal to prevent them from subsidizing terror, unfortunately. Nor is there anything in this deal about them doing that. So. Great picture. Thanks. That's our reflecting pool. That's the paint from the reflecting pool coming up that we spent $14 million on. I mean, and it's not even going to open the way it used to probably anymore. No, the iCountry has been bitching about Iran for 50 years. This administration did nothing about it. This administration made it worse. This administration literally did nothing but guarantee that more people are going to try and create nuclear weapons. Because what every country is going to see is that a place like North Korea, nothing ever happens to because they've got it. You perfected the art of whining and complaining. Says the guy who's whining and complaining on my chat. Ah, okay, dude. Woo! No solutions? What? Do you think this chat is the government? Like, do you think that we are the government? Considering how much... Oh. All right, mister. I got no picture. Doesn't the Senate have to sign off on any deal? I don't. It depends, I think. I think it depends. I think there are certain kinds of deals that they don't have to sign off on. That's what you'll be wearing soon. Oh, haha. Man. Do you like Chat GPT or insults? You you'll be wearing Depends soon. Got him. Hey, Nikki. What about ChatGPT? Oh, we got a guy in here that is just spending a lot of time insulting. So I just figure he's ChatGPTing his insults before he types them. Morning, Minnesota Mom. Morning, Teach. How are you doing? Which then gave them the right to enrich to 60%, which they were. Yep. Either ChatGPT or he's 12. Or both. Is not real. Negotiations ends. I mean, someone just said that Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to a ceasefire. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not going on vacation soon. I'm working. I'm traveling for work. But yes, I will be traveling soon. See you, Stu. Hey, Kelly. Yo. Oh, you know. Same shit, different day. How you doing, my friend? I'm just okay if I'm being totally honest, but I still have a whole day ahead. I feel you, and I hope your day gets better. I hope your day gets better. Hey, Kat. Morning, Clara. Aw, Ghoul. Democrats aren't a group of people. Democratic Party is a corporation, just like the Republican Party. The fact that you don't have the ability to go past to identify people by a political party is really sad. Forget the fact that I'm not a Democrat. But You saw someone put Iranian victory? No, I did not. Slept in today? Hey, you know what? Sleep when you can. That's what I say. Okay. Well. Sounds like somebody is all in their feelings. Maybe Ghoul, you should sit down and consider why you have such why you're so in your feelings right now. Maybe you should talk to some women about how to work through those feelings. Bro, I am never on the verge of tears. I absolutely can talk about feelings. Nothing wrong with feelings. There's a part of Frisco, Texas that are all up in arms because their anti-Muslim candidate lost his runoff. It's complaining about the lack of turnout of Christians. There you go. Just when I thought I couldn't be more embarrassed to be an American after this week. I'm not embarrassed to be an American. I can't control that. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. I can be embarrassed about what our country is doing, what people are in this country, especially our world leaders, are doing. That I will give you. But the guy who beat him is a conservative Republican. Interesting. Love to see the GOP Indiana meeting this weekend in my city just to yell. Excuse me. It's so wild to me that these people that complain about me and what I'm doing so often don't realize that they're coming on to they're actually making it possible for me to keep doing what I'm doing, or for anyone to keep doing what they're doing. I'd be interested to see if they're fully supportive of people that come on here and do this that they agree with. They're like, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. You do know that MAGA creators pay for bots to come on in these lives. I didn't, but you're doing great. I followed you for a bit. I appreciate that, Danny. People like you demand. What? I don't demand anything. Keeps getting worse from people saying, hold my beer. Just not an extreme Republican. Maybe some normalcy is peeking through. Maybe. People like you demand that others can't look at themselves and their views. They can't handle that. Yes, I understand why my views don't grow massively. I completely understand why my views don't grow massively. It is not what we're trying to do is not only a real man, an empathetic man or woman, like empathetic men, human people with humanity have the capability of doing what I'm asking them to do. I understand that. I get it. I get it. Hey, Jason. I miss when politics used to be boring. I mean, here's the problem. I think the problem is that we treated politics as boring for too long. I actually think politics being boring is what got us here. Now, do I think they should be this exciting? No. No, I don't. I understand to an extent what Bernie Sanders is saying. I am glad that more people are paying attention. I just wish more people were talking and not just blaming. That's the different part that we're dealing with now. Right now, it's just X bad, Y good. X evil, Y holy. And that's it. There's no in between, there's no nuance, there's no conversation. I just miss the politics when it was more civil and more calmer. But see, even that, Aaron. Yes, I did see it. I disagree with a lot of what he said, but I did see it. Democratic Party is the party of do as we say, not as we do. What are you talking about? The Democratic Party is a corporation. They don't do anything. What part aren't you getting? It's the fact, Ghoul, that you cannot seem to wrap your head around the fact that the Democrat Party, the Republican Party are not people. They're not people groups. They're not anybody. They're corporations. Like Amazon and Meta. And Tesla and all the others. How are you feeling about the vibe on this day? But you're not a Republican. You're not a Republican. You are an American who may register with the Republican Party. But you aren't a Republican. Republican isn't a thing. Anyone can say they're a Republican. That means nothing. Anyone can register, whether they agree with what they stand for or not. I do miss when it wasn't so much like a team sport. Yeah. And, you know, both parties have done the work to make it a team sport. What we're seeing from people is what those corporations have done the work to make it. Us versus them. That's all on them. That did it really cost? Did it really cost 14 million to do what they did, or did they really spend 14 million? They really spent 14 million. Beast, grow up. There's a memorandum of understanding. That's the basis of the deal. That's the start of the deal. So yeah, there is an agreement, and there's things that happened based on the agreement, and the memorandum of understanding talks about what they need to keep working on. Only one side dislikes America for the last 15 years. Again, dumb statement. No one should always love what Americans are doing, what our government is doing. What all best hunter, all you proved was that you actually don't pay attention to what's going on or care. You've been told you need to support the Republican Party no matter what, and everything they do is great. You actually don't care what they're doing. That's all that means. And again, random guy says, you know, you're a random guy too, right? Random guy comments. Snowflakes can't think or say anything. They are frozen water. Paul. Doubt it. I doubt you loved America during any president. What does loving America mean to you? What do you think loving America means? I think loving America means wanting to make it better than what it was. Not trying to keep things the way they always were. Loving America is trying to make things better for our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids, not worse. It definitely doesn't mean blind loyalty. Correct. You grew up in Haiti for 17 years, and I think America is great. So, because you think it's great, that means it must be great for everybody. Being critical of what your country does wrong is correct, mostly mature, is patriotic. Try living in the UK. This isn't the UK. Nope, I didn't poll the Democrats. Who said it was Democrats that said they dislike America? I don't dislike America. I'm also not a Democrat. UK has not turned into a third world country. Let me guess, because immigrants are there. It must be a third world country because immigrants are there. Yes, it has. I live here. No, it's not. Because you don't know what a third world country is. You've never lived in a third world country, so you don't know what a third world country is like. So you're saying because you consider the United States better than Haiti, that means that the US must be better, must be fine. It's not a memo. It's a memorandum of understanding. It's the framework of the deal that they're working on. It's the start. It's the deal's start. The basis of the deal. That's what a memorandum of understanding is. Paying Iran billions in cash was better. We're going to be paying Iran billions in cash right now with this new deal. Billions more. And we're going to get rid of all of the sanctions against them. And we're going to let them control the strait. And they're not giving us anything. Maybe the Democrats lied. Or maybe the question was asked horribly, because what does, like, you know nothing about the UK, so shut your mouth, lefty? Oh. I don't think you know anything about the UK, and you live there, obviously. I don't think you know anything about the country you live in. Nothing. Morning, Shelly. How are you doing? This seems more like Monday. Again, when things are going to get worse, this is the thing. For those of you that are aware of what's going on, as things get worse, the people that support this administration and the things they do are going to get more and more crazy about it, because they've got to find a way to justify what's going on. Your country's politics influence everything you do. And for a long time, for decades, Americans haven't cared about politics at all. So yeah, we've got to care more about politics now than we used to if we want to actually fix things. It's a federal holiday for Juneteenth too. A lot of people are sleeping in. That's true. That's true. This administration couldn't run a kids' lemonade stand without. I can't say that out loud, but yes, I can understand that feeling. This administration can't even get the reflecting pool done right. True. Our country's politics make me want to smack people and say, use your brains. Also true. Also true. What's getting fixed now? What's getting fixed, David? I wasn't complaining that you said it. I just couldn't read it out loud. And the fact is, Kat, is they don't want to actually use their brains, because using their brains requires processing things that are painful to process, and they don't want that. They don't want to process that kind of pain. Have you covered the secret meetings of Peter Thiel, CEOs and politicians? There's a list. We haven't. Mostly because it's just not a surprise. I mean, wealthy people and wealthy politicians all being in their own little groups. What's new? I mean, it's just a continuation of the known problem that we have had in this country and this world for a long time. This administration shouldn't be allowed within 500 yards of a lemonade stand. Truth. Also true. But yeah, I mean, you look at the people that are in it, none of it was a surprise, right? None of it was a surprise. Who were you surprised would be in it? Powerful, wealthy, influential people. We all need to remember the bonds that join us are bigger than we realize and not fight each other. We need to be able to come to an agreement on fundamentals again. Toon Raider. Until we can come to an agreement on fundamentals, it's going to be very hard to not deal with what we're dealing with. And we have to get out of this identity politics thing. Like Republican, Democrat, winning and losing, we need to get out of that perspective. They weren't allowed to create nuclear grade uranium in the JCPOA. They didn't create nuclear grade uranium under the JCPOA. They only started creating it once this administration, in their first term, shredded it. No, they didn't. They did not. The war isn't over. But thanks for playing. Oh, I get it. This is one of those, because you don't believe it happened, that you won't believe it no matter what. How, like, I don't believe the Iranian government. I believe the inspectors that came through regularly to make sure that they weren't enriching uranium. It takes time to enrich uranium. You're right. And he shredded the JCPOA what? 10 years ago? 9 years ago? They did not disallow them many times. They did not. They were allowed in every time under the JCPOA. Not funding terror groups was not part of the JCPOA, nor is it part of the current agreement. You mean you love when tourists see how great the US is when they don't have to actually experience any of the parts that are hurting Americans? That's a dumb statement, Best Hunter. Why do you think a tourist would have to would experience the bad parts? American citizens are the ones that are suffering under this administration. See, Rich Poor, you don't seem to understand that Democrat, Republican, those aren't actually people. Those are corporations. No one is a Democrat. No one is a Republican. It's only you that think that there can be that delineation of people. They're Americans, and you're complaining. During the Biden mess. What Biden mess? Americans have been struggling for the past 25 years. Not like they're struggling right now. Heard Trump say at the G7 he thought Iran with nukes might be better. Hey, Candace. $10 says they can't give you specifics. No, probably not. First off, the inflation under Biden wasn't record. Learn your history before you say something. Second, what do you think Biden did to cause the record and the inflation that did happen? The borders weren't open. And whatever you think a trans person has to do with the Biden administration, that's on you. That's just your own feelings, dude. The borders were not open. But again, thanks for playing. Biden didn't even know what day it was. Okay. Nope. It was not record inflation. The border was not wide open. Man, y'all are really in your feelings. Where's your proof? Where's your proof? Millions did not come here illegally and get benefits. Correct. Undocumented doesn't mean illegal. Again, are there problems with our, are there problems with with the system, our immigration system? Yeah. But what does anybody pass? What has any administration actually passed to fix our immigration system? Bro, I'm not your bro. No, if they are undocumented, they are not illegal. Actually. Thank you. Half my family are immigrants. Being poor isn't a qualification for asylum. It was open. No, it wasn't. And being poor isn't what qualified them for asylum in the first place. Good morning. It is Friday. That's all you got, right? Man, if I don't agree with what you're saying, I must be brainwashed. That's the only option. No, I'd rather help both. I'd rather fix our immigration system so people can come to America and not have it be 20 years before they can actually become citizens. And I want to help American citizens. No, I did not about say that. But thanks for playing. It's not 10 years. But again, shows you don't know how our system is actually working. Whatever. Jimbo. Whatever, Jimbo.
Guys, my name is Jimbo, and I'm an alpha, but I play golf, and I'm on TikTok. Yeah, look at me, I'm so cool.
Getting defensive? You think that's defensive? All right. Uh-huh. Okay. Where's Scott? He's probably working today. No, they are not considered illegal if they come into our country without documentation. That is a false statement. They are considered undocumented, but not illegal. What happens after 60 days if it's not extended or if a deal isn't signed? Then the war starts back up, I guess. No, not illegal according to the law. Undocumented according to the law. There are lots of different reasons why you can be undocumented. You can be here legally and still be undocumented. Which a lot of them are. Nice attempt to spin. Not a spin, it's the reality. You guys don't care about the law. That's the funny thing. You guys actually act as though you care about the law. The president is a 34-time convicted felon. And you're sitting here acting as though you care about the law? Give me a break. The 34 felons are not civil court. They are federal court. You know it was a sham. Oh, see? That's okay. So as long as you're okay with it, as long as you feel that the law is dumb, it's not illegal, right? That's what it is. That's how it works. These people are wild today, Scott. They are trying to justify everything.
What type of shit show did I step into?
They're just everything. They're trying.
Oh, demo rats are the biggest hypocrites. You know, when you open up a statement saying demo rats, you sort of kill your own credibility. You know that, don't you?
Show what documents? The 34 convictions?
Yeah, that's not 34 charges. That was heard by a jury who unanimously voted him guilty.
Wait a second.
34 times.
Wait a second. What does it matter what it was for? What does it matter what it was for? It's the law. If they're federal, show them.
Well, a jury didn't think they were bullshit. He got convicted of 34 felonies. Convicted, not charged, convicted. And he's very lucky he was elected president. Otherwise, he would have been convicted in D.C. and he would have been convicted in Georgia.
And he would have been convicted in
Florida.
If he did. No. Because again, that's not always how the law works. You can be convicted. There has not been a, what's the word? Why am I blanking on the word? No one there. they didn't get to the point of actually like telling him what what those
The
34
penalty phase, you
the
mean?
penalty would be. You're so smart. Convicted sentencing. Thank you. There just hasn't been a sentencing yet. And again, yeah, it's not gone. It's not over. It's been put on hold because he's the president of the United States. Best Hunter. Someone is in their, there's a lot of people in their feelings today. So
You know,
many.
they keep asking over and over what he was convicted of. The felony counts relate to falsifying business records. That's what he was convicted of. Just so you know that.
You know what's coming next? Victimless crime. So fraud.
Well,
Yes.
it's not
So
a
fraud.
victimless crime because he committed fraud, and the taxpayers pay the cost for fraud.
Again, you can dislike the outcome. You can say, I disagree with it, all you want. But if you care about the law, see, it's always something else. It's always something else.
No, not by Lolita Jones.
Letitia.
Wrong. By Letitia, I'm sorry. By a jury. He was convicted by a jury, not a prosecutor.
Unanimously.
Or a judge.
Unanimously.
Unanimously 34 separate times. You know, before you talk about the law, you should learn something about it.
I mean, going back to civics means nothing because they don't care about the law. They don't care about any of this. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with the law, what's right, what's wrong, any of it. It all has to do with their feelings and their desire to win. That's it. That is what this all is about. They do not care about the law. They do not care about humanity. They do not care about right and wrong. It has nothing to do with that. They do not care about morality.
Mike, if they cared about morality, he wouldn't be president.
What do I love about the Democratic Party? Nothing. They are a corporation. No one should love anything about any party. He's still your president. And who do I like? Who do I like? This isn't a frigging game. Oh my gosh. Who do I like? I don't like anybody. There. Is that what you wanted to hear? I will like anybody. I will vote for anyone who believes that all people, no matter your race, religion, gender, or identity, deserve rights, respect, dignity, and safety. That's what I will support. Who said we were fine, just fine with President Biden being president?
We were fine with voting for Biden over Trump in the election of 2020, if that's what you're getting at, yes. But in all fairness, I would have voted for a box of Kleenex over Trump in 2020.
Mm-hmm. you liked Biden, it's okay. Again, who are you comparing it to? Compared to Trump? Yeah, I liked Biden. I love how people say born again as though they're Christian, and the things they say are just the creepiest, creepy things.
Born again, I have a question. You're talking about Biden falling asleep. Do you not see the irony in what you're saying? I mean, seriously, do you have any sense of irony whatsoever? Because right now we have a president who falls asleep in 3 different cabinet meetings a week.
And during a UFC fight.
And even during a UFC fight, and that's pretty hard to fall asleep during that. So, I mean, do you even think before you type out these comments?
No, he can't comment anymore, but compared to nobody, you always have to compare it. You get 2 choices. You pick one. No, it's not. You're not the president of the United States. Do you not believe we should be holding our president, the person who literally is at the top seat in the entire country, to a higher standard than Joe Schmo GHOG? And again, if you think that I was okay with Biden as a whole, you haven't been around here at all. We criticized Biden all the time. And we definitely criticized him after he decided to run for office again. Now, again, compared to Trump, I still would have voted for Biden over Trump. But I pushed and pushed hard to make sure that he stepped down, which he ended up doing. I prefer him falling asleep rather than the world seeing Biden in the backyard playing with Easter. I think your chat GPT is failing you. All presidents use AutoPen. Even Trump.
And by the way, for the record, there's nothing wrong with using AutoPen.
Nope. I love when they say not as much as Biden did, as though you know.
And as if it makes any difference whatsoever. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's a factoid that is irrelevant. My God, what world do you people live in?
Yeah, most don't actually have to be told what they're signing. Yeah, it's been wild. Like, you can tell that things are getting worse because they're Clint, grow up. Are you 5 years old? Because you are acting 5.
Well, Mike, what they're attempting to do is to move the goalposts by focusing on minutia, because even they can see that in Trump's latest crisis that he totally fucked up, he basically surrendered. In case you're wondering, folks, what surrender looks like in real time, go read the document. He surrendered. The United States surrendered. The United States is humiliated, and Trump is really humiliated as he comes back from the Middle East, tail between his legs like a whipped dog.
And what makes it worse, Scott, is because the other country that started this war wasn't involved in the negotiations and isn't involved and doesn't like it. What people don't realize is we lost so bad, we literally have no power at all. None. Absolutely none. The country that started this war with us and the country that we started war against have all of the power. All of it. Because the I country doesn't want this to end. They don't like the agreement. They don't like any part of the agreement.
And hanging over everything is the only accomplishment of this war, except it's not an accomplishment for the United States. Iran now has a permanent chokehold, de facto control of the Straits of Hormuz, from which 20% of the world's oil and 20% of the world's natural gas flows. That gives them a veto on the world economy, making them a very powerful nation. Congratulations, we accomplished that.
And you're right. They don't like the agreement. That's why they're... But even without them screwing it up, there was no way of us getting out of this deal without being the loser of it. And that's the part people don't get. We lost the second we started it. There was no achieving the stated goals that they said we were going to achieve. Biden didn't do anything. You're right. He didn't start a war.
Might want to take a look at the legislative achievements of Joe Biden. They compare rather favorably to the legislative achievements of Mr. Trump.
Yeah. Again, did everything Biden do, was everything that Biden did perfect? No. Bush went in and started the chaos in the middle. No. Bush didn't start it.
Oh my God, there's been chaos in the Middle East since the State of Israel was founded in 1949.
Instead of everyone playing armchair politicians, sit back and see what happens. Sitting back and seeing what happens is exactly how we got to the point that we're at right now. Not doing politics is exactly how we got to where we're at. Politics are a joke. Politics are life. Your entire life is controlled by politics. Literally everything you do in your life in some way, shape, or form is affected by politics. How's that being free? No such thing as fully free in a society. There's no such thing. Doesn't exist. There will always be laws. And as long as there are laws, you cannot do anything you want. You just have to keep bringing in the borders. I don't care how many immigrants come in here. Bring them on in. They work harder than a lot of Americans I know. Bring them in. Yeah, most of all of that you're saying, Zor Q, is done by American citizens, white American citizens, by the way. A vast majority. Did I not see what's happening? Oh, right. One person. That makes up for the thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of American citizens that do it. Are there we're done with this.
Yeah, Zor, to begin with, stop making misinformation statements. And secondly, caps are for mods only. Thank you.
Yeah, well, he's not coming back. I just saw his thing too, so. Again, and I want to say this to everybody here that actually cares about what's going on. This is what's going to happen, and this is going to get worse. I thought you guys didn't like dictators. What do you think that what do you think being a dictator means? I didn't say bring in illegals. And I know Germany's dealing with some of this right now too. But what do you think you guys are doing? What do you mean? You guys. You guys who guys? In my live? Are you talking about my live? Terrible? What do you think is terrible at the moment in Germany? I know plenty of people that live in Germany and they're perfectly fine. I have quite a few friends in Germany, in fact. Oh, immigrants work so much harder. Look at the videos from Berlin, Hamburg, and Frankfurt. What are the videos going to show me? People protesting? I mean, they did yesterday, and supposedly they've have a ceasefire again, which we know the I country never sits with a ceasefire ever anyways. So who knows what's going to happen? MAGA stubs their toe. It's Biden's fault. I mean, what was he blaming? Oh, he's blaming what's going on. He's blaming what's going on the reflecting pool on Obama. How do you feel about the billions spent on deportation centers? the same way I feel about the millions and billions spent on everything else. We're spending so much time and money on this idea of getting people out instead of trying to make, because a bunch of people have been taught to blame immigrants, just like back in the day, the Irish were the problem and the Italians were the problem, and every other group of people. This is what people that think like this do. Any problem that is going on is somebody else's fault, or the Chinese or the Japanese or the Mexicans or anybody. It's any problems. I mean, unfortunately, this country is historically very good at othering people. We are so good at othering people. Thank you, Ben. You say it. And I don't have a problem with saying it. I was trying to think if there was a different word, because arguably, depending on how you look at the idea of race, the difference between the people that were here and the Irish was different. It's a different problem. Or at least I was trying to process on whether there was a different word to describe that, but unfortunately, cheap labor of immigrants is the only thing that has made it possible for people at the bottom to keep surviving. The people that are struggling, the only thing that has made it possible is globalizing the supply chain and cheap immigrant labor. That's what we are dealing with now, is what we would have been dealing with 10 years ago if it wasn't for immigrant labor. Now, again, do I think immigrants should be paid the crap they get paid? No, I don't. This is one of those two things can be true at the same time kind of thing. We need to fix a lot of problems. There are a lot of problems that are all intertwined with each other that we are dealing with, that we have an issue with, that we need to fix. We haven't had a real update to our immigration policy in, like, a real update in what, 50 years or more? We had a small one 20 years ago or something like that, but that's it.
Well, Senator Langford created an entire solution to the problem, backed by the Republicans and Democrats in the House and Senate, and under President Biden, gave the Republicans 90% of what they wanted. Biden was willing to swallow it. And then at the last minute, then citizen Trump, pulled the plug on it by telling MAGA not to give Biden the win. So we could have had this solved.
Or at least started the process. And we still have the most immigrants. So
what's wrong with that? We need them to help out in the fields. We need them in construction. We need them in meatpacking plants. Look what's happening all throughout the Midwest. Why do you think their economies are doing so poorly?
Again, this is the other thing, and you know, Best Hunter's been here for a while, so he said that he grew up in Haiti and thinks America is great because he grew up in Haiti. Yeah, that's why immigrants want to come here, because there are countries worse than the United States. That doesn't mean the United States is great. Saying you're better than third world countries isn't a flex. You were complaining about the updating the process, but we have the most immigrants. Yeah, updating the process is what allows immigrants to become citizens, which also it also decides how we deal with certain processes. The reason we have a lot of immigrants in the country is because of the way because we don't have enough judges to deal with all of the asylum seekers. We don't have a lot of things to deal with what's going. There is very little to no path to citizenship for a lot of them. You've got to put in all of the aspects. You think people would stop coming? No, they'd still be coming. It just would look different. The United States is great, and we have more freedom here than yo world. Disagree. In your mind, everyone is a victim? Oh, no. That is not true. In my mind, everyone is not a victim. No. Everyone being a victim means there would be no perpetrators. So no, everyone's not a victim. Why do they come here instead of Mexico and Canada? They do go to Canada too. And probably go to Mexico too. But Mexico's got its problems as well. What is the picture you're looking at? This is the reflecting pool. And this is the paint peeling up out of the reflecting pool. $14 million paint.
It's a good thing that Trump's pool boy did such a good job. I mean, it held up for what, 3 days? On an original estimate of 1.2 million, and it ended up being over 13 million to do the job, and he fucked it up anyway.
You're just negative. You never try to build anyone up. You just tear them down. Who should I be building up? Who should I be building up that you feel that I'm not? I can tell, I know a lot of people in here feel built up by what I say and do. So is it just because I don't agree with you that you don't feel built up, that you don't feel I'm doing it? Be real, most come here. So here's the thing. And this is hilarious to me. The United States of America, by the way we do things, I disagree with 90% of what you say, but you present everything in a negative way. No, I present negative things that are done in a negative way. But going back to my thing, the United States is a union of states. Each state, because of the way we do things, is kind of like a country in the EU. So yeah, it seems like we as a country are getting a lot because we look at ourselves as a whole country, even though we're not. Not in the same way. We are more like the EU. Now, I don't know the numbers in the EU, but yeah, a lot of people from Central America just go north because it's easier to just go north than it is to go to Europe. Why not talk about what we can all agree on then rather than disagree? What do you think we should talk about that we all agree on that I'm not talking about? Because I care about people. And when I see things going on that hurt people, I speak about it. That's how you get people informed. That's how you get change. You're never positive, you're always negative. Every day you teach people to be a victim. You think pointing out bad things that are happening in this country and the world is teaching people to be a victim? You think I should ignore the bad things and the bad choices made by this administration and our government? Oh, I go back and listen to myself all the time. What good things? This is a political channel. What good things do you think I should be talking about? Especially if I don't think they're good. If I know that the choices that are being made by this administration are hurting millions of people, you think I should be quiet about that? You think I should be like, oh, well, you know, some people are doing well while millions suffer? You think that's what, like, I understand you guys wish that I would say stuff that's good right now. I wish I was talking about good stuff. I would much rather be talking about good stuff. The day that I don't have to talk about this president anymore is a day I'm going to pop open a bottle of something. You're not allowed to? Oh no, I'm allowed to. We talk about good things when we see them. I'm also dealing with a friggin' algorithm. But try to be more positive. Tell me something that I should be positive about. Tell me something positive. It's a simple question. You keep wanting me to be positive. What should I be positive about? Smile when you tell us gas prices are going up. You're right. That's it. Did you hear Michelle Obama's speech yesterday was amazing. So there's nothing. Roll Tide girl, I know you think, I don't know what you think you're doing, but you are making my point by not actually answering my question. You think I should talk about positive things, and that's great. I want you to tell me what something that is going on in our country, in our politics right now, that is a positive that we should talk about. I'm asking. Her speech was phenomenal. Her speech was so good. I wish I could have gone to the opening. I would have loved to be there. The fact that I'm not. You keep turning it back on me. I'm asking you to tell me something that's positive. You're grateful every day that you live in America. So I should tell members of the LGBTQIA community who are getting laws made against them that they should be grateful to be in America. I should tell people who can't afford to live because of the cost of housing, healthcare, and food that they should be grateful that they live in America.
Should we tell the people, the 8 million people who lost their subsidies under the Affordable Care Act and are now paying on average 125% more than they paid last year for health insurance? Should we tell them they should be grateful about that? How about the people who had their SNAP benefits cut? What about the 30% of red states that exist on Medicaid that's about to get cut 2 weeks after the November election? Should we tell them just be happy and be positive about those cuts? Is that what we should be saying? Should we be telling people they should be thankful that the East Wing was torn down and there's a big hole in the ground at our house, the White House? Should we be positive about that?
Sales guy, they weren't actively building a nuclear weapon to begin with. Even our own National Intelligence Service said that they weren't making one. Our own people, Trump's own people, whose job it is to say these kind of things are happening, they said it weren't happening.
Sales guy says that we're not paying for the ballroom. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are actually.
Yeah, we are. He just asked for $1 billion in the budget for his ballroom. $1 billion. So yeah, we're paying for it. That money that he said was coming in never came in.
Why does Iran care so much about the nuclear program? Well, because they do have nuclear plants. And if you were being treated the way that they've been treated for the last 47 years or more, wouldn't you naturally want to put things together to protect yourself? They created a deal to make sure that they wouldn't get nuclear, they would not enrich uranium. And then and it was working. By every group that was involved in it said that it was working, except for this president. And he ripped it up. And if you were Iran and you were literally being put under a microscope on all of this stuff and the president just came in and ripped it up, what would you do if you were running a government? You would start doing the exact same thing.
Well, sales guy follows up on his first comment that we're not paying for the ballroom. Oops, he was wrong on that. So he follows up saying that the ballroom is going to earn way more money.
It's going to earn
you
no
don't rent
money.
out the White House.
People don't rent
the White
out
House is not a Ramada fucking inn. What planet do you live on?
And there already was a bunker underneath the ballroom. It wasn't needed. We are not paying for. Yes, Trump asked Congress for $1 billion to pay for it. Stop cursing. Guys, stop cursing. The second you raise your voice, you've lost the argument.
Sales guy, my opinion of whether or not you think I'm intelligent is exactly 0.0. I couldn't care less what you think since you sit here spewing one false statement after another. Couldn't care less what you think.
Y'all should be ashamed. You still haven't told me what we as a country should be positive about, Roll Tide Girl. You're telling us that we're just telling lies? No, you just said originally we were just being negative. No, you're the only one that's still in false statements. Nope, we do research, way more research than you. I guarantee you. You are a liar. Prove it.
Okay.
Prove it. I would love it. Prove it. Prove that I'm a liar. Oh, I don't care. She comes in and does this all the time. Then tell me why Biden asked for $1 billion for the ballroom specifically. Hold on. Ready?
Because they are, Roll Tide girl. They are. That's why.
Congressional lawmakers ultimately rejected the funding in May 2026. The Senate parliamentarians struck the $1 billion security proposal from an immigration enforcement package, leading Republican leadership to drop the measure amid pushback that was supposed to be used on the ballroom. So, sure.
Best Hunter says, would you rather have tents? No, the White House has been having balls since the White House was built in the early 19th century. We have room in the East Room for our state dinners, and it's worked fine for 250 years.
So he asked and got denied. Well, yeah. So that means who's gonna...
Again, Best Hunter, you don't seem to understand. We are not Versailles. We are not Buckingham Palace. We are not an imperial country. We are a democracy. We don't need a ballroom that has 5,000 people in it.
So he asked and got denied. Then what's going to happen? Is it just going to be an empty spot? What's going to happen? To give your citizenship to an immigrant and go to Iran and see how they live?
Now, Roll Tide, that's not very positive. I thought you were the positive one.
Losing your mind? No, we're not losing our mind over the ballroom. We're just saying what's happening. People are telling us are liars. We're lying about it. I'm saying I don't want... Did they stop building? No. Well, yes and no. They never started building the upper stuff. Because they don't... The judge decided they literally aren't allowed to just start building. The only thing they can build is the stuff underground. I'm positive until I deal with liars. Oh. And who gets to decide if we're liars? You? Are you the ultimate decision maker about whether what we're saying is a lie or not? Is that how your world works? If you don't like it, or you haven't read it, or you don't agree with it, it must be a lie? That Trump asked for $1 billion to help build his ballroom. Which he did. He asked and got denied. He said when he was building the ballroom that we weren't going to pay anything for it. So if we weren't going to pay for any of it, why did he have to ask for any money in the first place?
And by the way, why did he ask for $1 billion for a ballroom that he originally said would cost $200 million? Make that make sense.
If he did not need to use any taxpayer money to build it, Why would he ask for any in the first place? He was pressured by Congress to pay more for a ballroom?
I'm sorry. Are you saying that Congress asked him to pony up money for a ballroom? You can't be serious.
It's a, yeah. $200 million was for the ballroom. They're adding on security protocols as a future use bunker. I love that these guys think that anything added is still paid for by us. I don't care what they're adding. If they said that we weren't paying for any of it and now we're paying, that's paying. Oh no, it's his bunker. He decided we needed it. It's his. Even if he saw world peace. Okay. When you're building a house, sometimes there are additional charges. Grow up. Yeah, but when I'm building a house, I'm using my money.
Yeah, and the subject of conversation, which you said over and over again until proven wrong, Roll Tide, was that there wouldn't be any taxpayer dollars going to this function at all.
Prove I'm using the bank's money, sales guy. There's always something. This is ridiculous. Y'all just, I know y'all will just justify everything he does no matter how.
No, what it is, Mike, when they get debunked, they just move the goalposts and talk about something else. That's all they've been doing this entire conversation. They bring up a fact, the fact is proven wrong, then they just move the goalposts and talk about something else as if they weren't totally wrong on the point that they just brought up 5 minutes ago.
There will be no taxpayers going to the ballroom. Fucking kidding me? You set up a live about complain. No, I've set up a live talking about the world and the things that are going on in it. And when bad things go on, I talk about it. And when good things go on, I do talk about it. Just not seeing many good things right now. Okay, sales guy. Yeah. 0 followers and 51 following with no picture. All right. What you want to bet? He's had his account blocked and gotten rid of about 20 times already. Guys, I need to head out because it's 12 o'clock. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the gifts. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. I will see you on Monday. And that is probably, I don't know about, I know Tuesday and Wednesday will not go live because I will be traveling / doing some other things to get ready for traveling. But we'll see about lives after that. So I'll definitely see you guys Monday. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day and an amazing weekend. You guys are amazing just the way you are, and I love you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to sing, laugh, dance, smile, do something that makes you happy. Bye, guys.